What's up everyone? In this video we're going to be installing the Steeda oil separator, which mounts on the PCV hose right there, and it helps filter the oil out of the vapors coming up from the crankcase so that they don't be, it's like the oil doesn't get recirculated, which is not what you want. So this will mount in here, and as the fumes come up it should catch the actual oil, and this filter will catch it in this little tank here, and then this right here is a valve. You can press down and it empties it. So the first thing we'll want to do is take off the engine cover and then remove this intake pipe by loosening these two clamps with these flathead screws right here, and then we'll be able to get to that hose. Now that the intake pipe is off, we can remove the factory hose right here just by pulling on it this direction and pulling on it from right here, and it should separate from right there and right there. Now that the factory hose is off, you'll want to cut it right here, right before the curve. Just like that, and then you don't need the smaller piece. We'll be using this larger piece. Now we'll need to assemble the oil separator. So you start by taking this 90-degree fitting, and you see the arrow right here. This arrow will be facing towards the intake, so this side will be going into the intake side, and this side goes back into the valve cover side. So screw on this fitting just like this. You don't have to get it, don't like use a wrench and get it as tight as possible. It doesn't have to go all the way in. Just get it to where it's snug, and it will create a seal. Like you can see, mine is already snug enough to create a seal, just like that. Now take the straight fitting and screw it into the other side. Now you might need a wrench for this one if you can't get a good grip on it, but I should be able to get it to have a good seal just like that. And then once it's like that, you'll be ready to attach the hoses. The short hose will go on the 90-degree fitting just like this. Then slide a hose clamp over and tighten it over the 90-degree fitting. This will actually need to be twisted like this, so you can see the arrow pointing this direction and the 90-degree fitting going this way. Then take the long hose that comes with the kit and put it on the straight fitting. So this is what it should look like with the straight fitting and hose on. Then slide a hose clamp over onto this side and tighten it over the straight fitting. Then take another hose clamp and slide it on the end right here. And then you take this fitting right here, which has an end for two different hoses, and you'll put that in the end of the long hose over that. Now take the factory long hose and put a hose clamp over the smaller end, and then take the oil separator with the long hose, and then you put this fitting in the end of the factory hose. Then tighten the clamp over the end of the factory hose. So this is what the whole assembly looks like before installing it, and before you install it, just blow with your mouth on one end lightly just to make sure that the air flows through it smoothly, because if it doesn't, if it's really hard to blow through, try loosening your fittings right here, because these use pipe threads, so they will seal without having to be completely tightened. So if you completely tighten them, it will restrict the airflow, so make sure that the air can completely go through it smoothly, and then we'll be ready to install it. Now it is time to install it. Check to make sure that yours looks like mine with the arrow. The flow of air is going to be going this way, so that's why the arrow points this way. And it's going to be installed like this, and this hose is going to bend over back to the original spot like that. So the first step is installing this small piece right here. So this is kind of hard to get in there. You'll just have to get the whole assembly down in there like that, and then you can move the whole separator over and kind of reach through, and you'll be able to get this piece on. There's a few hoses down there that might get in the way, so you can kind of adjust your fittings to be at the right angle for it to fit in there, just like that. And then I have that fitting pressed on just like that. Then reach over and get the other hose, and I'm actually going to twist mine a little bit. To get it completely over. Just like that, and then take the factory hose and clamp it, put that pipe around it like that, and then just check to make sure everything is solid and it's installed. So here's what it should look like when it's finished. That's a little confusing, but this is the oil separator right here. There's the 90-degree fitting going into the valve cover right here with this short hose. You can see the hose that came with the kit comes here. It loops up and around to come across where it connects here with the factory hose and then goes back into the intake pipe. And the arrow on the oil separator right there should be pointing this direction, because the air is going to be coming out of here, flowing all the way through, and then coming back up into the intake pipe. So that's what it looks like. It's a little bit confusing, but that should work. I really don't like how this kind of just dangles in there, so I might make a mount for it eventually. And that is going to be pretty tricky to drain. I guess I'll just have to put like a cup back there and then press in the valve down at the bottom. But that's what it looks like. Now I'm just going to install the intake pipe and it'll be finished. So thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.